Hey Stat Stars, welcome to your first lesson in statistics. Before we get into any statistics, I'm going to teach you the basic features of Microsoft Excel, which is a really powerful spreadsheet program. Now I'm going to assume you don't know anything about it, all right, including how to start it up. Now, if you look on your taskbar along the bottom, you may see a green icon with an X. That's your Excel icon, so you can just click that. If you don't see that, here's how you want to put it on that taskbar. You're going to click the Windows in the lower left, and you're just going to type in EXC to start a search, and it should pop up. And you want to right click on that, and you should see Pin to Taskbar. Now mine's already on the taskbar, so that's why it says Unpin from Taskbar. But you want to click on that, and then it'll always be on the taskbar ready to go for you. Okay, so I'm going to click it on the taskbar, and I'm going to get a new blank workbook. So I just click on that, and here's our Excel. Now what we have is a bunch of what we call cells, these little blocks right here, and every cell has an address. So this cell is A1, this one is E3, this one down here is C11. Do you see how they're located and addressed? Okay, so we have columns denoted by letters, and we have rows denoted by numbers. Okay, now here's the cool thing. You can put in a number anywhere you want, and Excel will look for patterns. So look, I just selected those two cells where I put a 1 and a 2 in. I'm going to bring my cursor over so it's over that lower right square, and it turns into a cross, and watch what happens when I drag it. It says, oh, you must want to count up by ones. All right, now if you make a mistake or you want to undo something, you just hit Control Z, or you can just hit the undo like that. Let's say I wanted to count up by twos. So I put a 3 there. I'm going to select both of these. I'm going to go over that little square in the lower right, drag. Look at that. It fills it in by twos. Pretty cool, huh? Okay. Now, let's see. Oh, you can also add sheets to each workbook. So think of this as a page of paper that you're working on. And let's say you want to do another page. I just hit this plus button down here. There's a new sheet. Now sheet 1 and sheet 2 are kind of boring. So let's say that I wanted to rename this. I right click, choose rename, and let's call it page 1. Gee, that's a lot more interesting, isn't it, than sheet 1. And you can add as many sheets as you want. Okay, now if I highlight both these, I want to get rid of them. I just highlight them and I hit the delete key, and they are gone. Okay, now Excel is fantastic for making really cool tables. So let's say I decided to catalog all my books. Okay, so I am going to do a table, and I'm going to call it My Books by Genre. Now you'll notice that this is more than a cell, isn't it? So we're going to fix that in just a minute. So I'm going to call the first category, the first genre, fiction. Now if I want to move to the right, I hit tab. Okay, and let's call this nonfiction, and let's hit tab, and let's call this mysteries, tab, and sci-fi. So those are my favorite genres. Notice that nonfiction is getting cut off, right? So watch what happens. I'm going to highlight this column. I'm going to go over to cells. I'm going to go to format, and I'm going to go auto fit column width, and it automatically fits it by the widest part there. Okay, by the widest entry in that column. Now here's where things get kind of cool. You can make your tables look really pretty. So I'm going to highlight my books by genre all the way across, and I'm going to go click on merge and center, and it creates one big cell with that title in the center. Okay, now let's say that I have, I don't know, 30 fiction books. Hit tab to go over there. Oh, if I want to go down, I hit enter. Okay, So enter goes down, tab goes over, or you can also use your arrow keys. Okay, I like nonfiction a lot. So let's say I have 78 nonfiction. I love mysteries, so I have 90 mysteries, and I have, I don't know, 32 sci-fi novels. Okay, so let's say I'm interested in getting the total of these. Okay, I'm going to call this total. And here's where the power of Excel is really illustrated. Now I've highlighted this cell. I'd like to add up all of these numbers. I'm going to have Excel do that for me. I'm going to go to the formula bar, and every time I want to start a formula, I hit equals. And that tells Excel, hey, I want you to start doing some calculations for me. And I'm going to type in sum, and notice it says, oh, you want to use the sum function? Yes, I do. Okay, and I'm going to hit open parentheses. What do I want to add up? I want to add up this number, and I'm clicking and dragging all the way across to that number, and I close parentheses to tell it that my formula is done. I hit enter, and I have 230 books total. Okay, let's say I go to the used bookstore and I decide to trade in some of my mysteries. So I get rid of 10 mysteries. So I have 10. So now I have 80 mysteries, and I buy 5 more fiction. So I have 35 fiction. Notice what happened to my total. It changed. As I change these values, my sum formula takes that into account. Okay, now I'm going to delete that formula because I'm going to show you a quicker way to do that. Let's say that I wanted to add these up. If I go over to auto sum right here, sum, it does it for me automatically. That Greek sigma means sum. Okay, and so it says, oh, we think you want to sum all the numbers that are in these cells, and it does it for you. Okay, let's make this look even prettier. I'm going to, since I added that extra cell over the total, I'm going to merge and center it now like that. Let's make that yellow, and let's make our fiction and genre categories. I'm going to go up here and I'll make them blue, and I'll leave these blank. And to make it look like a real table, I'm going to go right up here, click, and I'm going to go to all borders. And then when I click away, notice I have a very nice looking table there. Now you can make a formula using any mathematical operation. It divides using the backslash. It multiplies using the asterisk over the 8. It does not do subtraction. What you have to do is add negative numbers. Okay. You can even do square root by typing in SQRT. Whoop, I didn't do the equals, did I? Equals SQ, and it says, oh, you want to do square root? Yes, I do. Square root parentheses 49, and I hit enter, and it tells me that it's 7. Okay. All right, so that I believe is enough for now. Good luck on your own question on the worksheet, and good luck on your homework.